What up, what up, what up? This is Professorel, and I come to drop that science. Resurrection of the Gods. TV. Peace to the gods, the goddesses, the kings, the queens, and all the children of the Most High God. Today's topic is the words of the Master, or, for those who are familiar with Christian philosophy, the words of Jesus Christ. And one of the reasons I always incorporate Jesus' words into my lecture is because whether people understand or not, Jesus came to help people learn that they're here to know themselves. He brought the wisdom of the ancient masters. Now, I myself was formerly Christian, or I was trying to live according to that philosophy. Now, so I understood, so I understand basically people transferring or people transitioning or people ascending to the next level with Christianity as a foundation. So I use those words because the master himself, and he was a master of all sciences. That's why in some of the texts in the ancient documents you see that they refer to him as master, because he was a master of all sciences. He knew all the ancient teachings. He studied all the ancient teachings. He studied the 9 dominant religions of that time. This is all within, the teachings. You have to go into deep research. Now, you see, but notice the 9 dominant religions. Notice the number 9. It's all within your consciousness. You see, even when you're thinking about Christ himself, it's all within your consciousness. Now, remember, your consciousness is your illustrious illusion. So whether you believe the story about Jesus, Muhammad, Bhagavad Gita, Hare Krishna, Buddha, Confucius, it's all within your consciousness. So now, like I said, one of the reasons I use this, you see me make reference to Jesus or a lot of other sages, is because they were basically teaching you the laws. Now, as an example, let me go back to my story. When I was younger, I used to, coming up in Christianity and all this reading of the Bible, I used to wonder why, when Jesus come, why didn't he just do the separation process, separate the good, prepare them for heaven? Remember, I'm young thinking it's like a kid. Why don't Jesus just, as the Son of God, just come and separate the good from the bad and prepare the good for heaven and prepare the bad for hell? That's what I just thought it was just that simple. But when you come to understand resurrecting the consciousness of the gods within you, you see, when you understand science is all about you understanding who you are. That's why Jesus was always stressed, the kingdom is within you. Basically, everything he talked about was directing you back to you. You got to read that Bible very carefully. If you read it, everything he's always talking about is directing an individual back to paying attention to their own character, their own nature, their own behavior, their own personality. Because everything within your consciousness is basically you. There's no one else to blame for anything. Your entire consciousness is a reflected image of your thoughts. So now, I said all that to say this. This Jesus said, if you see me, possibly when you see me, but if you see me, you see the Father. This lecture is about them words. You see, I always say, Jesus came to teach you about your higher self. You got to save yourself. His job was to plant seeds. That's why his life was cut short at 33. Once again, the numbers are significant. 33. Supreme mathematics, 3 represents understanding. Jesus was executed at understanding. So therefore, there was no need for him to go any further in his existence on this planet. But if you also understand that at the age of understanding, 33, there is a spiritual transition, ascension within all of us. Your entire focus and everything is normally changes. You're no longer focused on yourself like you was in your 20s. You're now looking more at others. This is a transition you make in your 30s. Your level of compassion goes beyond just yourself and what you want to do for yourself, but there's a level of compassion that raises up in you now you want to do for others. This is what happens when you reach 3, understanding. 30, 0, cipher. Understanding cipher, understanding your circle. 31, knowledge. 32, wisdom. 33, understanding. So now, this Jesus said, if you see me, or when you see me, you see the Father. What he was trying to teach you about was the God within you. That's why he said the kingdom is within you. You see, the spirit, energy, is what you are. The Bible refers to it as spirit. The spirit is eternal. What you're here doing is trying to match the outside that you see, flesh, with the inside, spirit. That's one of the reasons why I do my teachings, is to bring those who know the Bible and who know this Christ to a higher level of understanding in terms of knowing themselves and recognizing or re-understanding, rereading the teachings of Christ. And keep that in mind. He was trying to teach you your higher self. That's why he asked Peter, who do you say I am? He didn't want to hear Peter say, you're the Christ. That's what Jesus told him. Jesus wanted to hear wisdom, ascension, evolving. So Jesus didn't say anything after Peter said, you're the Christ. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. But just to show you what Jesus was seeking in the disciples that he surrounded himself with, he was seeking to see their higher level of growth and ascension based on his presence and the wisdom he was sharing with them. Because a sage and a master can only share wisdom with you. It is you who must discover your path, your destiny, or the God within. The kingdom is within you. Jesus used to always say that. He cannot save you. He can only give you wisdom. You can save yourself, or you are required to save yourself. And don't worry, they give you many lifetimes to do this. Got to get to know the gods, the responsibilities of the gods, because they know you, their specific areas. I'm going to have another lecture on belief in terms of what people believe, how belief is their power, and whether people believe in no God, one God, or multiple gods. I'm going to have a lecture on that. But let's get back to, so I can close this out. 9 minutes is coming. So when Jesus said, if you see me, you see the Father, he's referring to the God within you. He was referring to the God within him. So he's a reflected image of you. So if he's a reflected image of you, therefore he was referring to the God within you. He's trying to tell you that you have the God within your kingdom. Everything you need is within you. This is how the human form is structured. All you're looking at outside of yourself is a reflected light image of your thoughts. So basically, when Jesus said, if you see me, you see the Father, he was trying to reveal to you that you have an unseen side. You have a seen side, that which is reflected in your light image, your flesh. Then you have an unseen side, which is the power that controls, generates, operates the kingdom within you. All things that you see outside of you. So he was trying to let you know one of the principles of knowing thyself is knowing that you have an unseen force, the unseen side. If you see me, the flesh, you see the Father, the Spirit within the flesh, the kingdom is within you. I hope somebody got a word. I hope somebody got a new level of understanding. I encourage people to reread Matthew, Mark, Luke. Reread the Gospels. And this time when you study up on the Master, understand that he's talking about consciousness in his teachings. He's talking about behavior. He's talking about character. He's talking about your own personal submissions to the lessons that are evolving up within you from within. This is submission. The universe knows who you are, where you are, what you are, and what you're, why and what you're here to do. So the universe gives you lessons that nudge you, keep you in that specific area. Now, well, you know, some of us are very hard-headed. I know I was and can still be at times. It's natural. You got to understand how to flow. Slow down. Meditate. Appreciate life. Appreciate the moments. Appreciate the wisdom. Slow down and allow wisdom to precede you in your thoughts and in your actions. Pardon me. That means powerful word. Truth has been revealed. So again, I hope somebody got a word. It's always about ascending within with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. This is Professor L. And I don't come to play, I come to drop that science and resurrect the consciousness of the gods. Peace, and I'm out.